What is the yardstick of progress in spiritual sadhana? Sometimes we feel that we are rowing the boat without getting anywhere because we've not taken off the anchor. So asking Acharya ji to guide us in this regard.
And my point is, we all are on the same boat. And why am I saying that? Is because all the people who have claimed hierarchy, we have seen the whole game of snake and ladder, my friends. Don't fall for it. We are helping each other. That's all I can say. So am I trying to say there is no progress? So the progress is in the habit. The progress is in your instinct. You can evaluate 10 years ago, what would be your instinct if you were in a certain situation? Not how many times you count mantra or not how many times you have been to temple, but given the same situation, somebody is being very unjust to you. You found a situation where you could totally take advantage of somebody. So many different situations where how are you going to react? The first reaction, not the calculated one, the natural instinctual reaction that immediately tells you yourself, because the first thing, let it come out and you don't have to go and tell everybody. Second thing, you evaluate yourself, because that is when you see whether you have become a better person, more benevolent person, more compassionate person, more loving person, or more and more shrunken, selfish person. To me, that is a yardstick for spiritual progress. So when I go to temples and I meet the priests, and if I do not find that type of progress happening, I'm sorry, I cannot say because they are next to Lord Shiva and therefore they are in a higher state of spiritual progress. And when I meet some gurus and find them so full of ego, I'm sorry, because we all are divine pulsations. Everybody is Lord Shiva, the mother expressing herself in this body. And when there is so much of ego, then I'm sorry, I fail to see an actual spiritual progression. If you have progressed spiritually, your ego should be thinner and like cracking, not like thicker and more and more strong. What happens to a child when growing? The first consciousness is, we can call that stage, Freud calls like a stage of narcissism. Like the baby loves to love the baby itself, like it's full of love to himself, perfect. The baby is full of himself. But when we grow further, we recognize that others are also important, not just me. The whole world is not just to love me. I need to love others, care for others, because first, this is how it works. Everybody looks at the baby and gives love and all, and the baby takes for granted. Everybody here is to worship me. That is guru state for you, okay? That is like going back to baby state. I don't see a real progress happening. For a real progress, we should have this socially constructed ego to be less and less important to us. That would be another yardstick to measure our spiritual progress. Sometimes we can do sadhana, sometimes we cannot do sadhana. Sometimes we can do more studies, other times we cannot do more studies. But to what extent we are able to see the divine into others should be our third yardstick of spiritual progress. When the scriptures tell us everybody is Shiva, and then immediately we start exploiting, taking advantage of people's conditions. then we are not making spiritual progress. So these three, I would say, are the real yardsticks for measuring our own spiritual growth. And we don't need anybody else, and we don't need to tell anybody else. It's just constantly we can check on our own heart and then see whether the compass is going downward or upward. Yeah?
Yes.
Thank you.